But anyways, engineer. So we're going to the off the record portion, or basically
Mm-hmm.
us asking you, customer, netizens, no, tips
Okay.
regarding energy efficiency, right? So Matt has a
Uh,
couple, I have a couple, right? And you just need to
okay.
answer it as, uh, as briefly as you can.
As you do.
As you do, di ba? Okay.
Oo.
Number one. Oh,
Sanay
number
na.
one.
Okay. Mm.
Engineer Alfred, kung may power outage ba tayo, ano agad ang unang kailangan gawin ng customer?
Power outage.
Power
So,
outage.
okay, nako, yan din ang big issue dito rin eh kapag may power
Talaga.
outages, no?
Talaga.
Oo nga eh, kasi alam mo yun, parang ah, made me realize as well, even when I was still back there, no, na kaya ako, I have this sobrang appreciation to all the men and women, to all the
Mm.
engineers and all the technical people working to ensure that the power supply chain is working properly, 'di
Tama.
ba? Kasi
Mm.
ah, pag nagkaroon ng outage, dun nare-realize ng mga tao yung value ng ano eh, ng energy, no?
Engineers. Yeah.
'Di ba?
Oo, tama.
And
Yeah.
the
And
energy.
and in the hope na they would also appreciate all the people behind it, no, and trying to work their way to maintain and to maintain the system, and especially in times of outages, di ba? Yun
Mm.
ang hirap na, and it's literally risking their lives to restore power. Okay. Kapag nagkaroon ng outage, what we always tell even our customers here is to, of course, call the hotline, inform the hotline. If you have access to communications, no, it's still best to report the outage, di ba? Kasi even with the smart grid technology, no, it's still dito, no, we still advise customers to really reach out to the
Mm.
utility. And of course, in terms of electrical safety, unplug your appliances, unplug your equipment, or if you could also shut down your breaker.
Breaker.
Yeah,
Para mas mabilis, no?
especially
Breaker na
yeah,
lang.
especially if the outage is due to typhoon, storms,
Mm.
flooding.
Yes.
Actually, yun na nga. If it's storm, typhoon, 'di ba? And prone kayo sa flooding, dapat you should already turn off your breakers, no? Anticipate already, no? What's important is safety, no? Kasi sometimes hindi mo na nata-track that water is really tumataas na, and then it reaches your
Mm.
your
Mm.
convenience outlet. So it's very risky, it's very dangerous. So of course, safety first. No, safety first. Even if you still have power, pero kapag ah, nakikita nyo na, no, try to anticipate already, no, especially if during bad weather conditions, no. You may not turn it off, but you should prepare, no, in terms of
Yeah.
if you have appliances that you need to transfer or relocate, and then that you need to unplug or plug elsewhere, di ba?
Mm.
Or kung may second floor ka, you should bring it up. So you should anticipate for that. So again, it's electrical safety first, and preparation. You should always be prepared.
Mm.
Kasi you can't tell it, di ba? You can't tell.
Power bank, power
So,
bank. No,
oh
power
yeah,
bank.
you have to be.
Power bank.
That's true. No, it sounds cliche, but in terms of preparation, you should be ready with all these.
Yes.
If you have power banks, and then not only on the electrical side, but also on, alam mo yung ano natin, di ba? Pag sa mga earthquake drills, we have this go bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go
Kami
back. Yeah.
pinapractice din namin dito yon, no? And dito nga rin kasi the thing is kapag if all these things happen in the winter time, so it's really a huge problem because you have to have heating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yun din ang isang challenge dito, no. In our case, mainit na talaga eh, no.
Yeah.
Oo nga.
We need cooling. We need cooling dito.
Cooling, di ba? So yun, paypay naman tayo diyan, ano. Yun ang
Right.
solution. But here, no, ang hirap,
Yeah.
especially pag walang electricity during the winter time.
Yes.
And it happened, I think it happened here, but I think the worst was in the US, no? Talagang
Yung recent.
yeah, I think it's in Texas, I think. Kasi
Mm.
kasi 'di ba Texas is really not known for having harsh winters, right? So
Oo.
parang ang laging mainit doon eh, 'di ba? But it did happen. No? It's also,
Global warming, no?
yeah,
Yeah.
global warming. We're feeling the effects of it with
Yeah.
these ang titindi na, no, ng mga weather events na nangyayari. So yun, so a lot of people died there, no, because of
Right, yeah.
because of the freezing temperatures and no heating available. So yun, for outages, it's really about safety first and being prepared, and of course informing your local utility about it if you can.
Second question, no. I think obviously a lot of people will relate to this, especially now. How do you save money on your Meralco bill?
On the Meralco bill, ang daming ways.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true, no. Ang daming ways.
Focus tayo, engineer, dun sa bibili ako ng appliance part, no?
Bibili ka
What's
ng
the best?
appliances.
Yeah,
Okay.
yan kasi yung mga makabuluhan ngayon eh, di ba? People are moving,
Oo, eh.
people are building new
Yeah.
houses.
Well, the thing is, right now, with technological advances, the designs of appliances now are really, designed to be energy efficient. And with all these laws coming, of course, we have the energy labeling in the Philippines as well. Same here, no, we have a lot of energy labeling here, star rating. So this really, puts the designers and manufacturers to really produce energy efficient appliances. So ngayon, efficient yung mga appliances natin, no? But I think one of the important things as well is usage, no? Behaviors, no? Sometimes kasi the equipment is efficient but the user is not. Right? Right.
Hindi nagsasara. Hindi nagsasara ng aircon.
Di ba? So, like for example, you have an energy efficient air conditioner, but you leave your windows open, you leave your doors open, or you have a lot of gaps and leaks in your house. This is a big thing here, actually, building envelope. No, so all those, the type of insulation that you have, the type of walls and ceilings, and if you have air leaks and air gaps, so those really account and contribute to a lot of energy losses. Okay, so going back, so pagdating sa when you're buying appliances, no, you have a lot of efficient options now available. You have inverter technology, you have for air conditioners and washing machines and refrigerators. It's available, inverter technology. And then you have, of course, a lighting, you have LED. Cooking appliances, you have induction technology. So all of these are very efficient, efficient technologies, and it's really designed to consume less and at the same time perform the same function or even better, right? So it all boils down again to us, no, as users. We have to be smart, we have to be intelligent about how we use these appliances, no. So again, yun nga sa aircon use, di ba, sabi nga natin, no, if you have gaps, you have to really check it and you have to do some repairs if you have gaps. Dati rin ginagawa yung nagshi-share ng di ba? For example, 2 rooms and then just sharing an aircon. And actually some people use exhaust fan to, blow the cool air to the other side of the room. But again, even if you have the most efficient aircon, but if it's not properly sized, no,
Mahal pa
it's
rin.
not helping. It's not helping, right?
Yeah.
And refrigerators, even if you have inverter refrigerators and freezers, but if you are not using it properly as well, for example, masyado mo siyang pinupuno, um, it's not to the optimal loading of the
Nako.
refrigerators. Yeah.
Nako.
And it has these air vents inside, and then pag it's pag puno kasi, even the freezer is not circulating very well.
Yes.
And some people, as I mentioned earlier, are turning off their refrigerators overnight thinking they would save. So again, these are these
Myths.
are yeah, these are practices that are not helping at all.
Yeah.
No. So again, it all boils down to efficient appliances, efficient equipment, and also us as users. No, we have to be efficient as well. We have to be smart. We have to be intelligent about it. So technology is there, definitely, if you want to save. No, but again, we have to also learn about certain practices. No, and that's why you have bright ideas, you have power ideas, and these are the very practical things and tips that consumers need to know in order to save up on their electricity consumption. And again, it's also about seasons, right? Summer versus the burr months or the cool months. It also plays an significant effect on our energy consumption. So uh, again, if you want to save up, be efficient, and kung hindi naman kinakailangan, like standby power consumption, di ba? You can just, it's a waste, eh. It's a waste. And
Mm-mm.
a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that, and leave all these electronic devices and appliances with standby
Oh.
power, no?
Si Matt di nagtatanggal yan ng switch, engineer, oh. Yan, yan.
Uy.
Oh,
Nag-standby consumption yan.
oh, alam mo, you'll be surprised, no, at what on the amount of waste that all these standby power consume, no, to a household. And imagine, multiply that to the entire customer base. No, you could probably save up a lot of megawatts of power if just by unplugging,
And
right?
not to mention the risk, right? The risk that comes with leaving it always there, right? So, meron din ganong
Yeah, yeah,
factor, di
there's
ba?
always that.
Yeah. Next, Engineer Alfred, no? May tanong si ChatGPT, no? I actually asked
Okay.
ChatGPT, sabi ko, what are the most common questions of Filipino consumers? And isa
Okay.
sa mga tanong nila, how can I estimate my electricity usage or consumption? Siguro,
Mm-hmm.
Engineer, earlier you mentioned Power Lab. Nag-estimate kayo doon. Paano nyo ginagawa yon? And kung customer naman, walang access masyado sa Power Lab, di ba? How do they do it?
To estimate their
Yes,
consumption.
their
Well,
consumption, power usage.
there are a lot of ways to go about it. Uh, medyo medyo matrabaho. For example, if um, you try to get the ratings or nameplate ratings or wattage ratings of all your appliances,
Madugo
right?
yun.
Medyo
Yeah,
madugo nga siya, no? But
technical yun. Yeah.
yeah, but probably you can just get the major ones, no? Yung talagang tingin nating the biggest drivers in your energy consumption, the big
Aircon,
ticket
ref.
appliances like air
Yeah.
conditioner, ref,
Ref.
washing
Oo.
machines. Again, it's just an estimate. It's just a
Yeah.
forecast,
Ballpark.
no?
Yeah. Mm.
So once you have the ratings, so that's in terms
Mm-mm.
of wattage, right? So divide by 1,000 and you'll get kilowatts.
Mm.
And then multiply
Oo.
it by the number of hours, you get kilowatt hours, right?
Yeah.
So just per appliance, multiply the estimate number of hours of usage per day, and then multiply it for how many days,
Yes.
right? And you'll
Mm-mm.
arrive at a kilowatt hour value.
Yeah.
And then, of course, different appliances, different usage hours.
Tama.
Like probably your aircon, you're using it 6 to 8 hours. Refrigerator is 24 hours. And your lights probably, I don't know, 3 4 hours. Or if it's
Mm-mm.
perimeter lights, probably it's longer because you keep it on. You keep it on overnight.
Mm.
So that's one way, no? That's the it's like,
Para ma-estimate, no?
yeah, calculating all the
Oo.
loads available, all the loads there, and then multiplying it by the wattage rating, multiply it by the number of hours in
Yeah.
use, and then you get the kilowatt hours, and then adding it up for the entire month, and then you'll have an estimate there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really dependent on, because again, energy is a function of time. So
Mm.
it all depends on the how long or how short you use these particular
Yes.
appliances. So that's one.
Tama.
Second is, of course, historical. Okay, if you have energy consumption information historical,
Yeah.
which I think you could also see in your Meralco bill,
Yes.
right? So I
In
think it's
Meralco app.
yep,
Yeah.
Meralco app. I think it's 2 years worth of consumption history. So from there, you
Oh.
could compute for your daily average.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Mm.
one. Another thing is comparing it or using as a basis the same period of previous year,
Yes. Peak months,
right?
no? Yung mga, kunwari summer, ano yan, pipitik
Yeah,
yan. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So this rough, this gives you an estimate on our idea, or 'di ba? Kasi nakita mo naman consumption naman is it's all about trends, 'di ba? Trends
Mm.
and
Mm.
patterns eh. So nakikita mo ang typical load profile ng customers, or let's just go to a residential customers. It's peaking in the summer months, right?
Mm.
Peaking in the summer months, and then come June, July, rainy months, medyo bumababa na yan, and then it will start to pick up again during the Burr months, no? But again, different customers can have different set of profiles, 'di ba? Kasi you have to correlate also with certain events that's happening eh, right?
Mm.
Especially dun
Mm.
sa mga household na madalas mayroong
Yes.
party, madalas may
Wow.
sleepover, madalas may events. Of course, these are also contributing factors, no? It may happen on a lean month like June or July, pero magtataka sila bakit ang taas ng consumption. Of course, you have to correlate it with certain events happening as well, right? On
Christmas.
wine in Greece. Yeah, Christmas. It's yeah,
Mm.
laging ano yan. It's always a driver because you have all these parties, Christmas parties and Christmas
Christmas
lights
lights, gano'n?
and
Oo.
everything. So yeah. So again, you could compute it manually, and you could also compute it manually via specific loads, or you
Mm.
could you could compute or estimate it using historical numbers, in terms of,
Mm.
yeah, if you have access to information in your bills or in the app, that can be a great tool as well for you to estimate and predict your your consumption, diba? So
Mm.
you'll have an idea.
Right, right.
Mm.
So the next question, no, is something that I've wanted to ask someone like Meralco for the longest
Mm-hmm.
time. So when I was younger, kasi there was this thing that they started. It's called Earth Hour. So
Earth
60
hour,
minutes. Oh, 60 minutes you turn off everything in your household. Tapos
yeah. Mm-hmm.
parang nakakandila lang kayo. Tapos parang you basically don't use electricity for 1 hour that night.
Okay.
Pero I've always wondered, parang does it really help? Because there's so many chatter about no, it doesn't actually help because it surges after Earth Hour or something. Like you'll turn it everything on, tapos it just uses up more electricity. Ayun, I don't totally understand it either, but I think you are the right person to ask, no, for
Okay.
this question. So, does it actually help itong Earth Hour na to?
Gimmick lang ba yun, engineer? Gimmick lang ba?
Alin?
Yung
Oy,
Earth Hour.
hindi,
Yung Earth
hindi,
Oh,
no,
Hour?
no, no, no.
wow!
Hindi gimmick,
Wow.
hindi gimmick. Okay, so you have to understand two concepts: energy and
Oo.
demand.
Okay.
Okay, so energy is the kilowatt hour. Okay,
Mm.
so again, as mentioned earlier, it's a function of time, right?
Right.
So if you cut, if you cut the usage time, of course, your kilowatt hour will also be reduced, right? Now,
Mm-mm.
there's another one which is demand, right? So this is the kilowatt part, okay?
Okay.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
probably what they're referring to is demand, because I would have to agree that after when you shut down, of course, demand for power decreases,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but after that span of time, and everybody will go online again and will turn on,
Uh-oh.
demand will definitely spike again, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, in terms of uh, saving, we were able to save on the kilowatt hour, okay, on the energy part of it. So definitely merong savings dyan. No? Merong savings
Okay.
dyan. Okay. Demand kasi is it's always about peak. It's always about maximum.
Mm.
Okay. So even if, let's say for example, in a month, hindi ka nag-operate, okay, for most days of the month, and then you have this just one day na nag-peak ka at nag-max ka. So that's already your maximum demand, and you can like in our case, you have a guaranteed minimum billing demand, right? So whether you use it or
Mm-hmm.
not, you are paying for that demand. You are paying for that capacity
Yeah.
because we are actually building our infrastructure to
Yes.
really support your demand capacity, right?
Yeah.
So there's a guaranteed
Yeah.
minimum billing
Whenever
demand.
you
Yeah.
want it,
Even
'di ba?
here, yep,
Yeah.
even here, there's a minimum billing demand that customers pay here, just because you are allocated this much capacity. So, 'di ba? So, yun yung
Mm.
nakikita natin diyan, no?
Right.
Um,
Uh-oh.
you won't be able to save on demand because it's always measured at the peak. So kahit a few times mo lang siyang ginamit, so you're gonna be billed for that. But in terms of the energy or the kilowatt hour part component of it, definitely it can save because as you cut time, di ba? You're cutting the kilowatt hours. So may savings ka talaga makukuha doon even if it's just for Earth hour is 1 hour, right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Definitely. There are kilowatt hour
Wow.
savings there. Mm.
You save the earth pa.
Wow.
Naks. Savings
Wow.
na save the earth pa. Naks.
My grade school
Oh,
self is now thanking you because I've been
Yeah.
wondering that for so long.
Siguro, grabe naman.
yeah.
Thank you for that, engineer. Ako, engineer, siguro last question, no?
Mhm.
Tumaas ang electricity bill ng pamilya. And here
Okay.
comes nanay blaming the children. Kaka-computer mo kasi yan, no? Totoo
Okay.
ba yun, engineer, no? How does computer, electronics, the everyday gadgets that we use, in terms of percentage-wise, I guess, contribute to our electricity bill? Malaki ba yan or hindi naman?
Well, it depends again. It depends on
Wow. Okay, okay.
it de- kasi if you're gonna compare electronic devices, gadgets, computers to let's say an aircon, 'di ba? It's ang layo. Malayo talaga in terms of the kilowatt or the wattage rating of these appliances
Maliit lang,
versus.
no? Yeah.
Mm, right, right. So, I don't know, for example, computers is probably just 100, 150, 200 watts, right? Especially kung may mga gamers, 'di ba? Kasi ang dami nilang
Yeah.
uh, you know, peripherals or
Yeah.
accessories involved, no?
Yeah.
So, and versus aircon, we're talking about horsepower here. We're talking about, 1 horsepower is around 746 to 800 watts, right? And that's just 1 horsepower. So if, mas malaki pa, of course, probably in the thousands na yung kilowatt na pinag-uusapan natin here, no? So, but then again, during COVID, right? Remember Lance, di ba? So, and Matt, di ba? Right? Lahat tayo nag-work from home. And
Uh-oh.
then, lahat nag-work from home. And then, all these gadgets as well as there. You're working on your laptop. You're working on, ano na, dumami na rin. Nag-multiply na rin yung mga accessories. Eh. You have ring lights.
Oo.
You
Oo.
have speakers. You have, all sorts of it.
Podcast
And
equipment.
right, no. So and again, if we did a study there on the impact of work from home to a typical residential customers, and if I recall it right, I think the impact is around I'm trying to recall kasi medyo matagal na yung study rin na ginawa ko dyan eh. I think it's anywhere between 10 to 20% ang naging increase. And it's attributable to, of course, appliances working longer and the addition of work from home gadgets. So that includes laptops, yeah, computers, desktop, uh, yan, lahat-lahat, yung mga speakers and all the internet routers and all the accessories that you need kasi naging office na yung bahay, di ba? So, in terms of impact, if it's used of longer durations, definitely it could it could have an impact, no? Pero kung hindi naman masyado, di ba? Kasi sometimes summer lang naman eh, especially if bakasyon yung mga bata, di ba? Probably doon lang sila talaga nakakapagbabad, no? Or spend long hours using all these. It can contribute, definitely. It can contribute. It's all about management, right? It's all about
Yeah.
management. So you have to just allot certain number of hours because you're already anticipating it, especially during summer. All appliances are working harder, especially cooling appliances like aircon and refrigerators. Plus, all the kids are at home, di ba, using these appliances, and then with the addition of electric fans, maaaring hindi na rin kaya ng aircon, no? So some are
Mm,
also
Yeah.
using
mm,
electric fans. Refrigerators are also being burdened of the warm or hot temperature, and then of course, add more people staying at home, no? Because
mm,
bakasyon yung mga kids. So definitely,
Yeah.
as you add head count, di ba? They're gonna use appliances, they're gonna use gadgets, they're gonna use devices, and this can uh, really put a dent or contribute
yeah.
to your energy consumption, electricity
Oo.
consumption.
Spoken like a
Ayan.
parent yun Spoken like a parent yun, engineer Management of usage, no? Uh
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
Tama naman, tama naman. Yeah.
mm,
I mean, Engineer Alfred, I think that's about every question that we have. Nakakatawa because we've tackled, your career. We've tackled your, reflections of myth busting, annoying perceptions, right? Na paulit-ulit lumalabas, right? And you're still
mm.
giving us tips, right? So, maraming maraming salamat, engineer, for your time.